What's going on? Jake here with Uncommon EDC. I've recently done a couple videos on the weirdest knives I own, and I really enjoyed putting those together. The feedback on them has been pretty positive as well, so I figured it was time my EDC gear got the same treatment. So today's video will be on the 7 weirdest EDC items I own. Now, I say EDC items, I'm not daily carrying this stuff, although it is all being put out by companies in the EDC community, and it is small, pocketable items that could be daily carried if you chose to, no reason why not. So, did want to get that out of the way before someone comments, you're not daily carrying all of this random stuff in your pockets. That's true, but I enjoy collecting these kind of weird, odd items, as I've mentioned in the knife video, and so when I do come across them, I tend to pick them up. So let's get started with what's probably the funnest item on this list. This is from a company called Oddest Originals, and this is his band jaw, and it's exactly what it sounds like. The sole purpose of this is for launching rubber bands. And I guess I shouldn't say sole purpose, as you can see that eye socket is a 1/4" bit driver as well. But the main thing I use this for is launching these rubber bands at whatever I'm targeting. Now, they don't come out at such a velocity that they're going to cause any sort of damage to whatever you hit, or even hurt if you accidentally launch these at your friends, enemies, yourself. And so wouldn't worry too much about that. The way it works, you thread that rubber band onto the end as well as this hook section back here, put enough downwards pressure to release it from that hook, and once you do, it will launch. You can see it didn't cause any sort of issues there. And so this is a fun item for sure. Thought it would be a good one to start the list off. Worth noting, this is titanium, anodized titanium, so this is a rainy Sunday finish. Most likely, if you're trying to get this directly from Oddest Originals, you'll get it from a drop and it will be a different finish. If you want this one specifically, you'll probably have to go to the secondary market. But from there, we'll move on to an item from a company called Crimson Tactical. This is the FAFO, which is an acronym for F around and find out. Designed by Muay Thai fighter John Wayne Parr. Buddy of mine told me that these were going to be dropping in stock and jumped on it pretty quickly. At first glance, it's pretty inconspicuous. It looks like it could be some sort of puzzle or fidget toy, but in reality what it is a collapsible pair of knuckles, so we can hold on to one end, drop that, and you can see it does convert into a pair of knuckles that you can thread onto your fingers. Now, I have no intention of ever using these for knucks. These actually sit on my desk with a small OTF stored inside, and so both the OTF and this serve as fidget items that I can fidget with when I'm on the phone. But I thought this was a really cool item and couldn't pass it up when I saw it, so really glad I grabbed these. They did sell out. I don't know if they restock or not. I don't follow the company that sold these all that closely. I follow them on Instagram, but not getting like notifications or anything when they come back in stock. So these may or may not be available. I'll try and link to the items if they're in stock, and if not, I will link to their websites in the description of this video. So from there, we're going to go to a company we're more familiar with if you follow the channel, CountyCom. This is their grappling hook by Marac, and it's exactly what it sounds like, a miniature grappling hook. Actually, this one's called the Pico, available in 3 different sizes. The largest one's about 3 inches long, so significantly larger than this one. And you may or may not be able to make out on there, it says not a life safety device. So these grappling hooks aren't meant to carry your body weight. Definitely don't rely on them for that because they will fail. The body's aluminum. We have these steel hooks that just screw into place, so definitely won't carry your weight. So what are they for if not for carrying your weight? You can use these for retrieving small items. Say you drop something down a grate or into the water and you want to attach some line, drop this down and hook it. It's great for like your keys or a ring, anything kind of round that you can catch on those hooks. They also advertise it as being great for triggering tripwire, although I'm not encountering tripwire on a daily basis. And like I said, they do have those larger sizes, so maybe you get something caught in a tree, you need to pull the limb down from the tree. You can toss the larger one up there, pull the limb down, and so really a fun item. Now, I didn't want to disassemble it, reassemble it on the video, so I just grabbed another one. I have a few of these because they come in their mystery pack sometimes, and so this is what it looks like disassembled. Those hooks are just stored on the interior, screws on and off. So as I mentioned, you probably want to pair that with some line. So figured I'd show a good way to store some extra cordage. This is a tube vault from Tech Accessories called their D-Cache. And the reason this one made the list is because it's made to look like a stick of dynamite. Even has a fuse at the top. Now, the fuse is not functional. The purpose they give that fuse is for identifying what's inside. So the tip of the fuse is a color, in this case blue, and you can get different colors. So maybe you have blue for water purification tablets and bags, you have red for your fire items or first aid items, and so different fuses for different things. The cap on the end here glows as well. That's an M-Bright cap, and a lot of storage capacity on this one. I've actually done a video on it. Fun item. I love the look of these. This is also a great way to speed run getting on a watch list if you ever wanted to do that for some reason. Put this in your carry-on and you are sure to be stopped and pulled off the plane. Probably won't make it to your destination, so I wouldn't recommend that, but such a fun looking item overall. Moving on from there, we're going to go to the meat tool from JRW Gear. And this is exactly what it sounds like as well. JRW Gear makes a lot of just kind of functional pocket art. They have knives, utility blades. This is from their utility family. So this is for sticking meat. And it's just a fork, but the tings on here are extremely sharp, a lot sharper than your typical fork. So really great for getting through that tough meat and just kind of biting it off the end here. Now, wouldn't advise using this for like salad, where you stack up a bunch of layers of lettuce and greens and shove the whole thing in your mouth, because that's a good way to stab yourself in the tongue, the cheek, your lip, whatever the case may be. It is pretty sharp and it would be uncomfortable. Probably wouldn't cause that much damage, but cool looking fork. Probably the most extra fork that I have in my collection, being that it's made out of titanium, and I thought this was a fun one. He also has a book tool that's kind of similar, that's just a bookmark that looks like that. And so kind of staying in the food category, we'll move on to an item from Cobra Tech. This is their OTF bottle opener, and so usually these are going to be knives, but instead of a knife blade we have a bottle opener in here. So really fun item, just kind of pops out, double action on here, so really fidgety as well. Great conversation piece, especially if you're going out for drinks with fellow knife enthusiasts. Even people who aren't into knives though will find this interesting. It's just kind of a fun item to play around with, and it works effectively for opening bottles, as you might imagine. So that was a fun one. I got this at Blade Show last year, and it was on the last day. I think they had a discount on them, so got it at a pretty good price as well. But fun item from Cobra Tech. Now, last but not least, we have an item from a company called JW Knife and Tool. Now, their business is currently on pause. They're not selling anything on their website at the moment, but they will be back eventually. You can see that Canadian maple leaf with the topo pattern is their logo. The material on this is Richlight, and flipping this around, you'll see that this is actually a pocket level. So just a small level you can keep in your pocket. You can set it down, check if my table's level. It is. So depending on what your occupation or your hobbies are, you may actually have a use for this on the day-to-day. For me, I really don't. I'm not sure exactly why I picked this up. This lives in a toolbox at home, so it doesn't get carried on a daily basis. I guess I could carry it and set it down on surfaces to see if my lucky marble is going to roll away. A good place to set that down. I don't have a lucky marble though, but I'm actually surprised that this table is as level as it is, because it seems like anytime I set anything round down, it seems to roll away, but it does seem to be pretty level. This is a fun item. They also have a compass in a similar format. They've done it in Richlight, G10, micarta, M-Bright, so lots of different materials if you are someone who does need a pocket level. So that rounds out my list of 7 weird EDC items. I'm sure this won't be the last time I make a video like this, because it was a tough choice narrowing it down to only 7. But would love to hear what you think down in the comments below. Do these qualify as weird EDC items, and what weird EDC items do you carry or just own if you don't carry them? But would love to hear from you. Always appreciate it. If you enjoyed the video, consider liking, commenting, subscribing, joining the channel as a member. All help the channel out a ton. And as always, I hope you have a great one. Take care.